ABC5's Amanda Martin Ryan is keeping track of those reactions. She's live in the studio now. Amanda, Vermont Senator Peter Welch had encouraged the president to step aside. So what's he saying tonight?
That's right, Jack. Senator Welch's reaction aligns with what he's been advocating for since he made the first call for President Biden to step aside. And tonight, Welch is not only applauding Biden for prioritizing the future of democracy, but the senator is also calling Biden an inspiration who will, quote, be remembered as one of the greatest presidents of our time. Likewise, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders commending Biden on his account on the social media platform X, saying Biden in part has been the most pro-working class president in modern American history. Senator Sanders is one of the Democrats vocal about the party needing to unite and back Biden. A similar response from the former chairwoman of the New Hampshire Democratic Party, Kathy Sullivan, who, after Biden's poor debate performance, said, "Suck it up, Buttercup, you're either with us or against us." With New Hampshire potentially in play come November, Sullivan says Democrats will be putting a lot of resources and attention there.
To also remind voters about why we defeated Donald Trump in the past. This has never been Trump country. Yes, he's won the primary here, but when it comes to the general election, this is not Trump country, and it will not be Trump country again in 2024.
Many local politicians reacting are echoing President Biden's support for Vice President Kamala Harris, like Vermont Representative Becca Balint, along with New Hampshire Representative and Democrat Coalition Chair Annie Kuster. Meantime, New York Senator and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is flooding his Facebook account with posts praising Biden, but has yet to even mention talks of the vice president's potential candidacy. However, New York Representative Elise Stefanik was quick to denounce Harris, saying in a Facebook post, if Biden is unfit to run, he needs to resign immediately, and in a separate statement that VP Harris is an even weaker candidate for the job. We spoke with an associate professor of political science from Skidmore College in New York, asking how Harris's nomination could shake up both sides of the aisle. Here's what he had to say.
I mean, it is going to be pretty much a full court press to try to get a campaign together. But I think she is going to start with the party most likely behind her. We'll see what happens because it is so volatile right now. A lot of those voters on the Republican side who are disaffected or just not enthusiastic with Trump might think that Kamala Harris might be an acceptable alternative to Trump because she doesn't have the deficiencies that Joe Biden has.
It's important to note that Professor Saib emphasizes that this presidential race has been unprecedented since the beginning. So determining how this development will impact things with just months until we head to the polls is anything but predictable. Live in the studio, Amanda Martin Ryan, NBC5 News.